What's up, y'all? And thanks for stopping by the Search T channel. I am Search T, and tonight's a better night, and tonight's a more enjoyable night when it comes to WWE programming. Check out my last video, my review, brutally honest review of Raw. You'll see why I'm glad that tonight was a better night. This is my rundown and thoughts on NXT for the 2nd of August, or the 3rd of August, I say, 2021. And it's starts off with Legado del Fantasma versus Hit Row, and in the end, Escobar hits Top Dollar with a chair shot as Top Dollar bounces off the ropes and he draws a DQ. And though Hit Row gets the win, Legado lays a beat down, but then some payback first. B-Fab lays a chair shot into Mendoza, and Wild gets punished by Hit Row. So this what you call rivalry continues, and I don't mind. This rivalry kind of made me like Hit Row. I kind of hated them in the beginning, but they're growing on me, and it's good to see that they finally are hitting their stride. And let's see what happens with this feud as it goes on. It's probably going to culminate at Takeover 36. Something's going to happen. Type of match. They might even put the tag team titles, tag team champions in the mix, and maybe it'll be a three-way. We'll see. Now Samoa Joe is going to be babysat by security, as per orders by William Regal, because William Regal said that you are no longer an officer or an official or somebody in WWE, in NXT, and the very security force that they had with him is now the ones that are watching him, and he doesn't want anything to happen until Takeover 36. Now Ridgeholland made an impact last week in his return to NXT, and he's in action tonight. But then we see, coming back from break, and we see a collage of drawings by Dexter Lumis, with the last one being In-Dex, him and Indy. Now, start with the match. Holland is flanked by Don and Larkin, so they are a trio, and all three are in the ring, and he will face Ike Manjiro, whom I hope Holland destroys. And yes, Jiro gets obliterated from pillar to post, and even he gets sent into the cage above the barricade, and he receives a headbutt and a slam into the mat, and Ridgeholland gets the pin. And then Dunn takes the mic and he talks of destroying Ciampa and Baxter last week, and anyone who steps to them will end up like Ikiman, who's on the floor licking his wounds, and he's definitely felt the wrath of this trio, especially through Rich Hollis is, pretty much destroying them. But another backstage segment, and we have Frankie Monet. She's the word loser, and Robert Stone is to blame for their loss last week. Now she says if this group is to work out, it will be under Frankie's way and Frankie's rules. Do I care? Frankie Monet, like I said, she's brought a little bit of notoriety, a little bit of, limelight to this group. I think Frankie Monet is what they needed, but let's see if they gel, and let's see how they continue to, like you said, you had to do it my way, like the my way or the highway type of thing, if you want this group to still stay together. So, we'll see. Now, Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish are up next, and these two former Undisputed Era brothers in arms are set to go to battle. And it's a typical match when you see these guys wrestle, especially when they're together as a tag team, and then how they destroy their opponents, even one-on-one when they take on people. Good match, but in the end, it's a suplex into a backbreaker by Roderick Strong, and Fish on the receiving end, unfortunately, and after a physical and hard-hitting affair, Roderick Strong gets the win for himself and Diamond Mine. And it was revealed later on that Kushida, you see him and he looks into the camera talking to Roderick Strong, and he says, "You want a title shot? You got it." So I don't know. It's probably going to be at Takeover 36, and I would like to see that match. It's going to be a very, very This is going to be a classic match, so we'll see. Now, LA Knight and Cameron Grimes prepared for the Grizzly Young Veterans, and Grimes assures his boss that he will have his back, and he asks LA Knight will he have his, and he assures Grimes that he does. Well, Knight refuses to tag in during this match, and while Grimes takes it to GYV, and as he looks to deliver the cave in, he's then hit with a ticket to Mayhem. Double team, and the Grizzled Young Veterans get the pin and the win. And the $1 Million Man comes down, advises Grimes to get out of this situation. And I agree, but how will he? There was no thing where it was only going to do it for 30 days, 60 days, a year. So it's going to happen where it's going to be a match. The $1 Million title on the line. If Grimes wins, he gets the title and he's out of the butlership or being a butler. And if he loses, he stays the butler. Probably how the match is going to go. But this was a very, very well put together video package talking about Dakota Kai finally giving her explanation as to why she did what she did to Raquel Gonzalez. And we're going to find out as to why she stabbed her friend Raquel Gonzalez in the back. She talks about how if it wasn't for me, she would be nothing. She names all these women who she beat and became a star in her own right, says Dakota. But everyone knows who was in charge. The boss, the leader, that's who she was. That's who Dakota Kai says she is. Talks about how Io chose Gonzalez and didn't think to ask Kai. Remember when Io went to the ring and challenged, not challenged, but she said, "You want my title? You want a shot?" Dakota says she plucked Gonzalez out of obscurity and gave her the spotlight. And had the opportunity to challenge Io Shirai stolen from her. Her help led Gonzalez to the victory and the women's title. She should have had the victory because she should have been the one challenging Io Shirai. She should have been the champ, and she should have been in the ring with Belair and Ripley when we know that. Remember that Belair and Ripley, who were the champions from the main roster, they joined Raquel Gonzalez, and they all raised their hands and were all smiles, and they even had like a picture where Triple H was in the ring and gave them all three of them a hug, or it was either in the ring or backstage, but a very cool moment. And she wanted to be in that moment. She wanted to be the one that was there with Belair and with Ripley. Raquel's sidekick? That's what she became known as. You know, Raquel didn't want to regain the tag team titles or anything like that. She forgot about their goals, and it became all about Raquel and not repaying Kai, who did everything for her. Like I've said that in the past videos, it's just like she just, didn't think to ask her, didn't think to say, "You want a shot?" Now, she says she's no sidekick, and the only back she should be having is her own. And it's the funniest thing is that Raquel Gonzalez didn't see it coming. That's what Dakota Kai said. She was oblivious. And then she said, "No one is left." Dakota says, "Well, how about me? I brought you into this world, and now I take you out of it when I become the NXT Women's Champion." And we find out later on that Raquel Gonzalez is going to break her silence next week. Can't wait to see that. The love her or lose her match is tonight. Then only the Garganos, only they know what's best for Indy, and Johnny will end In-Dex tonight. Now, let's go to the first round match, which is the last first round match in the NXT Breakout Tournament, and that's next. And let's talk about some side things before we get to that match. Adam Cole suffered a neck compression and a spinal compression, and well, I'm thinking, is it that? Or is it a matter of Cole's contract expiring? It expired July, I believe July 31st, or July, it was in July, but then he asked to extend it so that he can stay till after TakeOver 36. And that's the news that's going around. That's the rumors. I'm sure it's news. I don't think it's rumors anymore. It's news. Is he going to leave after? And then he'll be that much closer. If there's a 90-day clause, it's that much closer to him being able to compete. Now, let's talk about those two, Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, and they're going to have a face-to-face next week that's going to be moderated by the GM, William Regal. Now let's go to Trey Baxter and Joe Gacy, the two last individuals who will compete in a first round match. This is the last first round match, and next week's going to be the semis, and which one of these guys are going to move on. And let's talk about Joe Gacy, who is a big boy at 250 pounds, and he is shown in video packages in 205 Live. And I mean, is 205 Live no longer a weight limit? But it's only in name now? I mean, because I seen the other guy, there's another big dude who was there. Like, I guess the weight limit, you don't have the Cruiserweight Championship anymore. It's on NXT, so, I mean, I believe maybe NXT does go over there and compete. I don't know. I'm trying to think. But it's funny. You got a big boy like that. It's not 250. That's not 250. It's 205 Live, not 250 Live. So I guess it's just a name only. I guess this match was competitive and hard fought and athletic, but Baxter hits a 450 stomp. Looks like Gacy was trying to get out of the way, but he still got hit with it. It's pretty sick and very impressive. And he moves to the semis. Does Baxter to face a big task. He got a 250-pound guy here. He's going to go against a guy I think is 450 or 400 pounds, and that is Odyssey Jones. And then that's set up for next week, the semis. And then you have Carmelo Hayes versus Duke Hudson. And I think Duke Hudson is going to. I think that he's my pick. Duke Hudson won't win. He'll probably be facing Odyssey Jones, and then somehow Hudson's going to overcome that weight advantage. But he is a big, tall dude. Looks like he's pretty strong too, so he might just eke it out and be the new, this year's winner of the breakout tournament. Now, a little vignette: Zoe Starks and Io Shirai are bonding at a sushi bar. Bonding? Well, Shirai is not receptive, especially Starks mentioning Kairi Sane. You guys had a great thing. I think we can have that too. Kairi, Io Shirai looking at her like, nah, you ain't gonna have anything like me and Kairi had. And Shirai didn't take that so well, You can see it. Now Io Shirai orders in Japanese, and Zoe's like, I'll have what she's having. That may be a big mistake. Raw octopus, sushi, that Zoe doesn't take to. Throwing her food this way and over her head and sticking to the damn walls, 3 or 4 pieces of live, not live, but, uncooked octopus, not chopped up like calamari. And so it says that they are beginning to get along. Well, Zoe gets stuck with a check, or that's what it looks like, because Io's like, just gives it to her, boom, and then walks out. That's that, I don't know, what do I think about that? Like this little bit of tension between them, because I mean, Io Shirai is someone who doesn't look like she wants to be a tag team. I mean, they won the titles and she was happy, but Zoe Stark, Io's playing that role of like she doesn't like anybody. She respects them, but she doesn't like them. She always says that. I don't know, man. I don't know how to take to it, but it's a way to just give these guys a, especially Zoe. She needs to kind of show more character, some more personality. She's very athletic. She's very charismatic in the ring. She does everything, but we need to see what kind of character that she has. And I guess this is a way to do it, But well, it's complicated, she says, when asked about the situation with the match for the love her or lose her match. And so she said, on one hand is family, that's Gargano's, the way, and on the other hand is love, Dexter Lumis. Now Andy, is pulling for Dexter, and we're going to see her, will Dexter Lumis on to become the victor, and they can, she can go into the family like she wants, and there's going to be some funny stuff if he does win. Now, while they're there, the commentators are talking, and then in comes the champ, and he clears them out from the commentator booth, or commentary table. He's standing on the table and he's yelling to Joe, "Who provoked who?" And Joe hits the ring and he takes out the security team. And as he chokes out one with the not the cure for the clutch, but with the whatever, I can't remember, but he's choking him out. And then he says, "I'm coming for you." He says it very, very like just in a whisper, but very deaf, but very, very, very deliberate, like And after that, we see a little bit of a thing with Walter and Dragonoff. Walter has been the champion for 800 plus days now. Champion being the NXT UK champ, and it's the longest in modern day WWE. And many have praise for the match. We saw Drew McIntyre. We see Sheamus, Shawn Michaels, and of course Triple H and all them. And we see Dragonoff talk, and Dragonoff's talking about how it broke something in him after losing the match. People gave him praise, but he's saying people remember the winner, they don't remember the loser. And Walter comes on, and we know what he thinks. He doesn't think he's ready. His mind's not ready. He's talking about Dragonoff, and we see them have a little bit of tension at the table when we had that face-to-face on NXT UK. And there's something that happened backstage where Walter ended up hurting his arm, breaking his arm, or something like that. And Dragonoff's even saying that he's much stronger now. He's, he believes in himself, and he's stronger than Walter. He believes he's, better than him, and all that. Everything that he could be saying in order to let Walter know, and even let us know that he's ready for that match. And it's also announced later on that Dragonoff will be live next week at the CWC Capital Wrestling Center. I don't know what he's going to do. He's going to wrestle? Or did he say he's going to be there live, or maybe he's going to talk? So we'll see. Now, the Love Her or Lose Her match. But before that, Ember Moon and Sarai will face each other next week. It's looking like to be a pretty good week next week. And here's the thing. I didn't see any matches being announced that's going to be a repeat. Hell, Raw. Talking to you, Raw. Talking to you. Main roster. Don't know how to, not repeat matches week after week. If anything, it's in my mind, AEW, if you watch their thing, they don't ever repeat matches. If they do, there's a reason behind it. But I've seen different people come in and they use their talent wisely. WWE, why can't you do that? You know what I mean? I'm always going to say that you have the better product or the better budget, better everything, and then you still look like you're an indie show or you don't know what you're doing. Like, how could that be the case when you've been in business for 50 plus years? Give me a break. This is them AEW, chomping at the bit. Here's you swimming away, and they're coming up closer. They're gonna end up fucking chopping your legs off pretty soon. Get with the program. WCW did this. They almost put you out of business. You were able to turn it around, and you could put them out of business. But you're gonna try to fight off AEW, or you're gonna just let them slide on in, take your released talent and do something better with them. Come on, this is the competition you need to make you better. But let's go to the match, and it's Gargano versus Loomis. You know that. And I love how Candice and Gargano treat Indy like a daughter. I mean, they're old enough to be her older siblings, but it's funny how they treat her like that. And Indy is torn, but despite his efforts, Loomis is hit with the one final beat, DDT. And Loomis loses not only the match, but loses Indy. Well, no. He doesn't, as Indy says, forget the income. She's thinking, forget the income, the outcome, and she runs to Dexter in the ring, and she Luthez presses him, and then she proceeds to press her lips to Dexter's. And In-Dex lives on, much to the delight of Beth Phoenix. She probably loves all those rom-coms and all those love stories and reads all the books. She's probably a fan of Romeo and Juliet and all that. And she's like a big proponent of In-Dex. She's the one that came up with the name. She's the one that first said it. Johnny even said to her, "It's your fault." And she's like, "What do you mean it's my fault? Like that. And then her and Wade Barrett going back and forth. It's hilarious. Wade Barrett's acting like he doesn't like this lovey-dovey stuff. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I think NXT always has it going on. They know what they're doing. Sometimes they slip a little, but I don't think they've ever put on a shit show. I don't think they ever have. Not in my recollection. Way better than Raw, but then again, you know, the proverbial watching paint dry. That old gag, that thing is better watched than Raw. But I'm not talking about Raw. We're talking about NXT. Very good. I liked everything. They're really set everything up really well for NXT Takeover 36. I don't know if they could fit in any more matches. The only thing that is a possibility of adding it is the cruiserweight title match. To see Roderick Strong and Kushida, man, that's going to be like what do you call that? A masterclass, man. Both submission experts. Both are just devastating when it comes to their moveset. So that's going to be a great match. And definitely going to see Roderick Strong win the title because they're trying to build him up now. And, so we'll see. But that was my video for NXT. I thoroughly enjoyed it, like I said. And NXT never fails. Like I said, he falls short sometimes, but not all the time. They're consistent. But anyway, that's my video. So for those of you who stopped by, checked it out, appreciate it. And in closing, as always, take care.